MECC wants political parties to submit candidates' names for vetting. Good afternoon, I'm Zaleha Khairene and you're watching News on 2. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MECC calls on political parties contesting in the coming 14th General Election or GE14 to submit the names of their prospective candidates for vetting. MECC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Zulkifli Ahmad said this is to ensure the candidates were free of corruption and abuse of power. Speaking to the media during an anti-corruption road tour in Chuping, Perlis, Tan Sri Zulkifli assured that the MECC was capable of doing the checking of all politicians as their data were kept by the Commission.
Tapi saya juga nak menyeru kalau besok bila tiba masanya nanti ada menjadi tanggungjawab parti-parti politik untuk memastikan, ini yang penting ya, memastikan calon-calon yang ingin menjadi calon pilihan raya itu mestilah calon-calon yang punya integriti yang tinggi, khususnya tidak terlibat isu-isu rasuah dan salah guna kuasa. Ini suatu perkara yang penting. Rakyat akan menilai dan saya nak menyeru rakyat keseluruhannya untuk memastikan perkara tersebut.
He advised those contesting in the GE14 to get themselves vetted to increase the public's confidence in their credibility. The Royal Malaysian Police PDRM will not compromise on security issues regarding the cancelled October Beer Festival. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi Harun reiterated that the decision was made on two factors, which is the militant group attack threat should the festival continue, as well as protests from over 26 non-governmental organisations, NGOs.
Tak boleh berkompromi tentang isu security. I think the threat is real. Jadi kalau jadi apa-apa nanti, kita bertanggungjawab. Jadi kalau kita kata tak boleh, kita tak akan halang lah. We will monitor the security the assessment from time to time.
Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi, who was speaking in Beijing, said that police received information exposing plans that a few parties were planning to cause havoc should the festival be allowed to go on. Thus, to avoid such an incident, the PDRM banned the festival altogether. The IGP hopes the organisers can understand the situation, as the cancellation is to preserve the public's security and peace. Police will be closely monitoring the situation and are in constant contact with the Home Ministry regarding the issue. The Health Ministry has not received any reports of claims that 3 students in Malacca were infected with the influenza H1N1 virus, which had gone viral on social media recently. Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. S. Subramaniam said the ministry is waiting for the report on the matter from the Malacca Health Department and will monitor closely its development.
We didn't get a report from State Health Department of it, so we'll confirm it for you. Let me check them and inform you. We'll give an official report.
He also urged the public not to make any speculations on the claims and to wait for the ministry's official report. He said this after launching a headmaster leadership training course in Aikaroh, Malacca yesterday. Since last week, an audio message warning students of a primary school in Malacca Tengah not to attend classes as a group of its students had been admitted to hospital for H1N1 infection. Headmasters and teachers should play an important role in changing the perception of parents towards schools, namely those listed as hotspots or problematic schools, simultaneously improving the quality of education and discipline in these schools. Education Minister Datuk Sri Mazir Khalid stressed that all parties should work together to create a better and conducive environment.
Sebab bila cakap saya negatif ni, dia mungkin disiplin, drop out, dadah, bully, gangsterism, macam-macam lah. Jadi kita tak tahu di mana dia punya kedudukan. Jadi kalau pengetua seluruh warga sekolah termasuk PIBG, alumni sekolah, komuniti, NGO, tolong sekolah, saya ingat sekolah boleh jadi baik.
He was speaking to reporters after a professional dialogue event at Institute Aminuddin Baki, Cameron Highlands, Pahang, which was also attended by the Ministry's Secretary General, Datuk Sri Alias Ahmad. Only 2 housing projects under the Kedah State Government's agency remain abandoned, mainly due to financial issues involving the developer and banks. State Exco for Housing and Local Government Minister Datuk Badrul Hisham Hashim said the projects are in Kuala Kedah involving more than 100 buyers and 80 buyers in Langkawi. He said he had held discussions with developers, representatives of buyers and of the ministry to find a solution to continue the construction of the houses which had been abandoned for the past decade.
Dan saya memang memantau projek pembekalan ini. Tak banyak, dalam dua lagi. Semua ada empat. Dua dah settle. Lagi dua lagi yang masih dalam rundingan. Dan kita tengok dalam rundingan tersebut, wakil daripada Jabatan Perumahan, pihak kementerian, ada berita-berita yang positif yang diumumkan kepada pemilik-pemilik rumah yang membeli rumah tersebut.
He was met by reporters after the handing over of keys to 91 house owners for the Perumahan Bandar Sejahtera Project Phase 1 Zone 2 in Pokok Sena. The two-storey houses were sold for RM230,000 per unit under the project, which began in 2014. The founder of JJ Poor to Rich JJPTR, Johnson Lee Chong Sen, aged 28, was charged under Section 420 at the Jalan Duta Court on charges of fraud. He was charged for committing fraud against a 45-year-old victim by influencing him to invest in the company on 20th of March 2017. The offence was committed in CIMB Bank, Jinjang Selatan, Kuala Lumpur. Also charged were two other JJPTR staff, Pang Chi Peng and Lim Seong Wei. All three accused pleaded not guilty. Magistrate Siti Razia Kamaruddin set 2nd November 2017 for case mention. The three accused were represented by attorneys G. Jayaprem and Nick Tan Mio Hun, were each granted bail of RM4,000 in one surety. In May, police arrested the three in Petaling Jaya for fraudulent allegations after several police reports were filed against the company. The 8 JJPTR premise in Pulau Pinang were also raided, where 15 workers and 4 investors were taken in for questioning. Police also froze several accounts belonging to the company under the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001. An ambulance driver was fined RM6,000 for driving recklessly after he ran a red light, resulting in a collision with a group of motorcyclists. Bukit Bertajam Magistrate Jamaliah Abdul Manap issued the fine after Chong Chok Fai, aged 34, pleaded guilty under Section 43, subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act 1987. The accused was charged with committing the offence at Jalan Son Ban Kheng, Bukit Bertajam on 6th of September. According to the charge sheet, Chong was on his way to a patient's home in Taman Merak Simpang Ampat when the accident happened. Prosecution was conducted by Deputy Public Prosecutor Kamaliza Madzain, while Chong was not represented. Coming up, FHM 2017 set to boost tourism and hotel industry. The Malaysia Exposition and Convention Centre MyExpo City is expected to boost the country's economic growth via business tourism upon its completion in the year 2020. According to Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak, the project, located in Putrajaya, once completed, will help the city to truly cater for both business and leisure for local residents and other nationals who are living and working in Putrajaya.
Menjelang akhir tahun 2020 nanti, MyExpo atau Malaysian Exposition and Convention Centre akan muncul sebagai pusat pameran yang terbesar di Malaysia. Jika dicantumkan dengan PICC, akan merupakan pusat MICE yang terbesar di Asia Tenggara.
Datuk Sri Najib said this during his speech at the groundbreaking ceremony of the project at Precinct 5 in Putrajaya. The project also brings the nation closer to the vision drafted in the Economic Transformation Programme (ETP) to strengthen Malaysia's economy to a total of RM1.3 trillion to turn Malaysia into a high-income nation by 2020. MyExpo is a 1.5 million square feet project comprising of a 5-storey exhibition centre, a 23-storey building that includes hotels, shopping complexes, indoor theme park and service departments. Aggressive measures are being taken to ensure that Malaysia's tourism and hospitality industry retain its spot as the third largest contributor to the nation's economy. Among the efforts to push the industry to new heights is the Food and Hotel Malaysia 2017, or FHM 2017, that sees the participation of over 1,200 companies from 50 countries. Deputy Minister of Tourism and Culture, Datuk Mas Emriati Samsudin, noted that combined efforts such as the FHM exhibition enabled the industry to contribute a total of 73.3 billion ringgit to Malaysia's economy last year.
The Minister of Tourism and Culture Malaysia, Datuk Sri Nazri Aziz, announced that the tourism industry contributed RM73.3 billion to the nation's coffers in 2016. As such, the Ministry of Tourism and Culture achieved 112% of its key performance indicator, or KPI, last year.
Organised by UBM Malaysia Exhibition Services, the 14th edition of FHM exhibition, to be held at Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre, will gather top guns in the industry. The expected 23,000 visitors would be treated tantalising treats of sight, sounds, aromas and tastes by world-renowned chefs. FHM 2017 began yesterday and ends on September 29th. A total of 270 families living in the Sentul Kramat AU1 police quarters will be relocated to make way for the Mass Rapid Transit MRT Sungai Buloh Serdang Putrajaya, or SSP line. The current two-block police quarters will be demolished as they were obstructing construction works for the tunnel path of the line. SSP Line Project Director Dato' Amiruddin Ma'arif said the relocation of the families will commence in the first quarter of 2019 after the new police quarters is completed.
The new police quarters ni dijangka siap December 2018. So perpindahan tu kita jangka immediately after that lah. It will happen maybe in the first quarter of 2019.
Commenting on the progress of the construction of the SSP line, Dato' Amiruddin stated that everything is according to schedule and that the line is 13.7% completed. The repair works for 8 tunnels boring machines TBM, which were previously used to construct the MRT Sungai Buloh Kajang line, is almost finished. 4 new TBMs will be received by early 2018, to which construction of the tunnel path will begin soon after. Malaysia is in the midst of discussions with India to increase flight routes to the country in a bid to boost the local tourism market. Transport Minister Datuk Sri Liao Tiong Lai is confident that India will allow for the additional seats following the good bilateral relations between both countries.
We are happy earlier that we got additional 2,000 over seats. We are asking for another additional 40,000 seats or more. And now we will set the discussion, the air talk will continue with the Indian government.
He said this yesterday in Sepang, Selangor, after witnessing the presentation of the Gold Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, or LEED certification, to KLIA2. KLIA2 is the first Southeast Asian terminal to be awarded the prestigious building certification set by the United States Green Building Council. And that concludes this afternoon's edition of News on 2. In our top stories, Saudi Arabia to lift driving ban on women effective next summer. Join us again at 7 tonight for more updates. Till then, I'm Zaleha Khairene. Thanks for watching.